Battle traits for the Fire Slayers. You've got these 5 Urgold runes, and basic rules is you can only use one of these per turn. And so for the Rune of Fury, for the rest of the battle round, friendly Fire Slayer units have the strike first while they're in combat with an enemy unit that charged in the same turn. In your shooting phase, and note these can only be used once per battle. In the shooting phase, you can use this ability. If you haven't used any Urgold runes, pick any number of enemy units within 10 inches of the Fire Slayers. Roll d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict mortal damage equal to the roll. Rune of Fiery Determination. Friendly Fire Slayer units have a ward of 5 up for the rest of the battle round. In your charge phase, you can run and charge. And then in the combat phase, they get crit mortals for the rest of the battle round. Battle formations, you have the Warrior Kin Band, giving you Berserk Kindred. Add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by friendly Fire Slayers infantry that have charged. And then Incantation, needing 4. And then pick a friendly Fire Slayers priest to chant. Pick a visible friendly Fire Slayers within 12 inches and make a chanting roll of d6. It's the Prayer of Ash. Subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target the friendly unit until the start of your next turn. And if the chanting roll was 8+, also subtract 1 from the Rend characteristic for attacks that target the friendly unit until the start of your next turn. Pretty powerful prayer, and with the unlimited keyword, you'll be able to do multiple of those prayers to strengthen up your units. Auric Runefeather on Magmadroth, 14 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control 5. The Roaring Fire Stream, 10-inch range, 4 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, d3 damage, and is anti-infantry. The Latchkey Grand Axe, 4 attacks, 3-up, rend 2, 3 damage. Magmadroth's Claws and Horns, 6 attacks, 4-up, rend 1, 2 damage. Blazing Maul, 2 attacks, 4-up, rend 2, 3 damage. When it has 10 or more damage points inflicted on it, you only get 4 attacks with the Horns and Claws. Raging Inferno, once per turn. In the combat phase, roll dice on a 3-up, subtract 1 from save rolls for the target. Once per battle, you can add 1 to the attacks of friendly Fire Slayers, wholly within 12 inches. And for each unmodified save roll of 1 when you're being attacked, after the fight ability is completed, you deal 1 mortal damage, and has a ward of 6-up. The Auric Runemaster, 5 health, 4-inch move, 5-up save, control 2. The Brazier Staff is 3 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. Each time a prayer is chanted by this unit is answered, this unit gains a Magmic Power Token. And when you declare an Urgold rune as a Master of the Runes, remove 3 of this unit's Magmic Power Tokens, and apply the Urgold rune that to the one that was used. Rune of Fury, you add 1 to the wound rolls for friendly Fire Slayers while they have the strike first rule. Rune of Fiery Determination, add 1 to the save rolls for Fire Slayer units for the rest of the battle round. Rune of Relentless Zeal, add 1 to the run rolls and charge rolls for friendly Fire Slayers for the rest of the battle round. Rune of Searing Heat, add 1 to the rend characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Fire Slayers, and Rune of Farsight, increase the range to 16 inches, and 6-up ward. Hearthguard Berserkers with Broad Axes, 2 health, 4-inch move, 6-up save, control 1. The Broad Axe has 2 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. Passive, while any friendly Fire Slayer infantry heroes are wholly within this unit's combat range, both this unit and the friendly unit have a ward of 5-up. And the Fires of Vengeance, passive ability when this unit is within the combat ranges of any damage-friendly Fire Slayer's heroes. Add 1 to the attacks characteristic of its melee weapons. It also has a ward of 6-up. Pretty powerful bodyguard unit. I'm expecting similar things from things like the Saurus Guard. The Great Swords got removed for Cities of Sigmar, but units like that will have this kind of ability. The Molten Infernoth is your invocation. 10 health, 8-inch move, 5-up save, banishment of 7-up. Has a ranged attack of 8 inches. 2 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 2, d3 damage. Can shoot in combat. And then the Molten Claws, 6 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 1, d3 damage. Crit on is immortal. And then at the end of any turn, you get the ability Flame Scarred, where you pick an enemy unit that has had any damage point allocated to it this turn by this manifestation's attacks to be the target, and then subtract 1 from wound rolls for the target's combat attack until the end of your next turn. So pretty powerful. I don't think you'd be able to apply it more than once, but pretty cool. Ward of 6 up, so you couldn't shoot at something and claw attacks at something and apply it twice, I don't think. Spearhead battle traits, you basically have a shortened version where pick one of the Urgold runes and make an activation roll of d6. Can only be activated once per battle. On a 1 to 5, the standard effect. On a 6, the enhanced effect. So Rune of Fury, add 1 to hit rolls. In addition, add 1 to attacks for the enhanced. Then Rune of Searing Heat, add 1 to the rend. Enhanced is add 1 to the damage. Rune of Fiery Determination, ward of 5 up. Enhanced, in addition, add 1 to save rolls. And Rune of Relentless Zeal, add 2 inches to movement. In addition, add 2 to the charge. The Battlesmith, you have 5 health, 4-inch move, 5 up save, control 5. Battle Axe, 5 attacks, 3 up, rend 1, 2 damage. Icon of Grimner, add 1 to save rolls for friendly units wholly within 12. And once per battle, plant the icon to give a ward of 5 up wholly within 12 inches. Battle traits for Idoneth Deepkin, pretty standard on a lot of the deployment special rules. You can pick a friendly regiment led by an Idoneth Deepkin hero, set them up in the Ether Sea, then you can bring them up a unit wholly within 9 inches of the battlefield, more than 9. The Tides you get as a passive, so each battle round has a different effect. For the 5th battle round onwards, repeat the sequence. So 5th battle round, you could also get Low Tide. So Low Tide, subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks that target this unit. Subtract 1 for hit rolls for combat attacks that target this unit if it did not use any charge abilities. Flood Tide, you can run and still shoot and or charge. High Tide, for the rest of the battle round, they get strike first. And Ebb Tide, retreat, can shoot and charge, and doesn't take mortal wounds. Battle formations, you've got the Achelian Beastmasters, add 1 to the hit rolls for companion weapons made by Achelians. And then spells, you've got the Steed of Tides, casting value of 6. You pick a friendly Idoneth Deepkin Wizard, and a friendly Deepkin unit visible wholly within 12. And then remove the target from the battlefield and set up more than 9 from enemy units. That's a super powerful spell that only requires you to cast it on a 6. It makes this a very, very maneuverable army where you can just really redeploy and set things in reserve. It's going to be quite strong. Idoneth may not have the best rules in the War Scroll, which we'll look at later. They may have decent ones, but they definitely have some good ability. Eidolon of Mathlin, 12 health, 10-inch move, 3 up save, control 5. Blast of Abyssal Energy, 12-inch range, 3 attacks, 3 up, rend 2, d3 damage. The Side Trident and Deep Sea Scepter, 5 attacks, 3 up, rend 1, d3 damage. And the Storm Shoal Fang, 6 attacks, 4 up, no rend, 1 damage. Passive is you can add 1 to the casting rules for this unit, and the spell is casting value 8, Tsunami of Terror. Pick up to 3 different visible enemy units wholly within, or not wholly within, within 12 to be the targets. Make a casting roll of 2d6, subtract 1 from save rolls that target that unit. Vengeful Waves, if the enemy has not charged, roll a dice. On a 3 up, the target cannot use commands. And Tranquility of the Abyss, ignore negative modifiers to control scores of friendly Idoneth Deepkins wholly within 12 inches of this unit. Ward of 5 up as well. The Asharan Tidecaster, 5 health, 6-inch move, 5 up save, control 2. Got the Pelagic Staff, 3 attacks, 3 up, rend 1, d3 damage. The Aether Shark's Vicious Bites, 2 attacks, 4 up, no rend 1 damage. And then the Master of the Aether Sea, once per turn in your hero phase, you make an Asharan ritual roll of a d6. On a 3 up, pick one of the following effects. Creeping Mist, friendly Idoneth Deepkin units cannot be targeted by shooting unless the model is within 12 inches of them. Surging Stream, add 1 to run and charge rolls for friendly Idoneth Deepkin, or Spiteful Riptide, each time an enemy unit uses a retreat ability. After the effect of this ability has been resolved, inflict d3 mortal damage on that unit, and can cast 1 spell for this character. So pretty powerful different effects that they can use. The Achelian Alopex has 8 health, 12-inch move, 4-up save, control 2. Can take either the harpoon or the net launcher. Both are the same profile, 18-inch range, 2 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, rend 1, 3 damage. But the harpoon's anti-monster and the net launcher is anti-cavalry. Then barbed hooks and blades, 4 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 1, 1 damage. Alopex is ferocious bite, 3 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 2 damage, and is anti-monster as well. Passive is add 1 to the attacks characteristics of the Alopex's bite while it's within 6 inches of any damaged enemy units, or while it's within 6 inches of any enemy units that have had any models slain in the same turn. And in your shooting phase, you pick an enemy monster or cavalry that has had damage points allocated by this unit's shooting attacks. On a 3-up, you subtract 1 from the number of dice rolled to a minimum of 1. Pretty powerful. The Achelian Ishlean Guard, 4 health, 14-inch move, 4-up save, control 1. They've got the Hell Saber with 3 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 1, 1 damage, anti-infantry. And the Fangmora's Fangs and Lashing Tail, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, d3 damage. The Biovoltaic Barrier can be activated in any combat phase, where you pick an enemy unit, roll a dice on a 3-up, subtract 1 from the attack characteristics of the target's unit weapons for the rest of the turn. And then Galv Shields, it has a 5-up ward if it is charged. And of course it's got the fly ability like most of the other Aether Sea creatures. Battle traits for Spearhead, you've got the Tides of Death, same thing pretty much. Low Tide, you subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks that target. Flood Tide can use the run and still shoot and charge. High Tide gets the strike first. And Ebb Tide can use the retreat and still shoot and charge. And then you've got the Namarti Thralls, really simple war scroll here. 1 health, 6-inch move, 5-up save, control 1. They've got the Lenmari, 2 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 1, 1 damage, and it's anti-infantry. And then passive is you add 1 to the damage for the Lenmari for attacks that target an enemy monster. And this can be reinforced. So really this foot unit is pretty powerful because it's both anti-infantry and anti-monster. Can be really effective, depends on how expensive they are. But 1 health, 5-up save, pretty tough there. The Rattling Warp Blaster has 7 health, 6-inch move, 4-up save, control 2. You've got a 20-inch range with the Hail of Warpstone bullets, 3d6 plus 3 attacks, 4-up to hit, 3-up to wound, rend 1, 1 damage, and auto wounds on a crit. The Thrall Rat's Claws, 4 attacks, 4-up, 5-up, no rend, 1 damage. Add 1 to hit rolls if you target something that has 10 or more models. And then once per turn, you can do more and more Warpstone bullets. If it's within combat range of a friendly Skyer hero, its attack characteristic is 66 plus 3 instead of 3d6 plus 3. However, every unmodified hit roll of 1 inflicts a mortal damage after the shoot has gone. I missed these war scrolls because they came out not as the main articles, so I'm just covering these today. But this is some pretty powerful shooting if you don't kill yourself, which is a distinct possibility, however. The Lord Vigilant on Gryphstalker has 8 health, 12-inch move, 3-up save, control 2. The Hallowed Great Axe is 5 attacks, 3-up, 3-up, rend 2, 2 damage. And the Gryphstalker's Beacon Talons is 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. Once per turn, as a reaction, you make a resistance to something that was a non-core ability. Make a resistance roll of a d6 on a 4-up. The ability has no effect on this unit. Then once per battle, in any combat phase, you can pick a friendly non-hero Ruination Chamber unit wholly within 12, and they can use 2 fight abilities this phase. However, after the first is used, the unit gets strike last. So pretty powerful support character that also kind of acts as a beat stick with its Great Axe doing some pretty decent damage for Stormcast cavalry hero. I'm excited to use them for sure. And then its once per battle ability is really strong. For traits for Nurgle, you've got an ability similar to the Tzeentch one, where once per turn, at the end of any turn, you pick one of the following effects. Infect, you pick an enemy unit that's in combat with a friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle unit to be the target. They gain the diseased keyword. Spread, you pick the diseased unit to be the target. Each other enemy unit within the target's combat range has the diseased keyword. Or mutate, if all enemies on the battlefield have the diseased keyword, inflict 1 mortal damage on each of them. Desperate remedies, if you heal something, they lose the diseased keyword, or regain models through an ability. And then racked with disease, once per turn, you roll a d3 for each diseased enemy unit. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on that unit equal to the roll. So pretty powerful battle traits for the Nurgle forces. For the Taliban of Nurgle in the battle formations, you have the Disease and Pestilence personified. From the second battle round onward, add 1 to the amount of mortal damage inflicted, if any, by the Racked with Disease ability. And then you've got the Arcana and Incantations casting value of 7. It's Fleshy Abundance. Pick a friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle Wizard. Pick a visible enemy Maggotkin of Nurgle unit wholly within 12, then make a casting roll of 2d6. If the target unit is damaged, heal d3 to the target. If the target is not damaged, subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target that unit until the start of your next turn. So pretty good healing or buffing spell, depending on what stage of the game you're in. The Great Unclean One has 20 health, 6-inch move, 4-up save, control 5, 7-inch range attack, d3 plus 3 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, rend 2, 2 damage, can shoot in combat. The Colossal Blight weapons, 4 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, rend 2, 4 damage. And the Host of Nurglings, 10 attacks, 5-up, 5-up, no rend, 1 damage. And auto wound on a crit. When it's taken 10 or more damage, you change the attack characteristic of its Blight weapons to 3. Locus of Nurgle, and once per turn in your movement phase, you pick a friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle Demon that started with 3 or more models, roll dice on a 4-up, set a replacement unit, wholly within 12 inches and more than 9 from enemies. Bloated with Corruption, if this unit is damaged, pick up to 3 enemies with combat, and on a 2-up, inflict the mortal damage equal to the roll. And then casting value of 7 spell, pick an invisible enemy unit within 12, and they get the diseased keyword, and ward 5-up. The Sloppity Bile Piper has 5 health, 4-inch move, 5-up save, control 2. With the Marauder, he's got 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. And once per turn in any combat phase, you pick a visible friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle Demon unit wholly within 12. On a 2-up, pick one of the following effects. A Stabbing We Will Go, add 1 to wound rolls for the target's attacks. Early one evening, my pustule was seeping. Ward rolls cannot be made for damage points inflicted by the target's combat attacks. Or my love is like a ripe fart. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by enemy units that target the target unit. And then a 5-up ward for this character. Pretty powerful support character. The Harbinger of Decay is 7 health, 8-inch move, 3-up save, control 2. His Grim Rot Sword or Plague Scythe is 3 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 3 damage, and crits are mortal. The Demonic Mount Flyborn Bite, 2 attacks, 5-up, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage. And then the Knell of Doom, pick up to 3 enemy units within 24 inches until the start of the next turn. Subtract 1 from the move characteristic and subtract 1 from run and charge rolls for each target. That's once per battle in the enemy hero phase. And then for 4 ritual points from the Omens of Decay, pick a visible enemy unit within 12 inches of the target, and then make a chanting roll of d6. Subtract twice the current battle round number for the target's control score for the rest of the turn. If the chanting roll was a 10 plus, this ability affects all enemy units within 12 inches. And is a priest of 1 and has a ward of 5-up. The Putrid Blight Kings have 3 health, 4-inch move, 3-up save, and control 1. Their blighted weapons, there's 4 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 1 damage. And their passive is Bloated Bulk. Add 3 to this unit's control score while each model in this unit is contesting an objective you control. They also have a ward of 5-up. Really simple rules, but a very tough, resilient unit that can stand on objectives and hold them and hit back pretty hard. But they're not as massively damaging as they were in the previous edition, where they could do a ton of mortal wounds, which is great. I much prefer that. You've got some different rules for Spearhead. You've got in your movement phase, Demonic Summoning. You set up this unit anywhere on the battlefield more than 6 inches from all enemy units. So that's for one of your Puskull Blight Lords and one of your Plague Bearers. Are brought up from that summoning ability. The passive is diseased. Each time an attack roll made by a friendly model scores a critical hit, you receive a disease point to a maximum of 7. And then at the end of any turn, Nurgle's Embrace, spend any number of your disease points. For each disease point, pick an enemy unit that's in combat and roll a dice. On a 4-up, inflict 1 mortal damage to that unit. You can pick the same unit more than once. And then the Plague Bearers, 2 health, 4-inch move, 6-up save, control 1. Plague Sword, 1 attack, 4-up, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage, crit is mortal. Cloud Fly, subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks at target, and a ward of 5-up. Battle traits for the Sons of Behemoth. You've got the passive Timber, where each time a Mega Gargant or Gargant is slain, the winner rolls off, or the players roll off, and the winner picks a point on the battlefield within 3 inches and deflect D3 mortal damage to every unit that has less health than the Gargant or Mega Gargant. Then you've got Rampage abilities, which you can't use more than 1 Rampage per turn per unit. So the first one is Gargant Charge. Roll a D3 on a 2-up, inflicted amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. Then Earth-Shaking Roar. Roll a dice on a 3-up, they can't use commands. Colossal Slam can only be on a monster or war machine. Roll a dice on a 3-up, remove it from the battlefield, set up within an inch of this unit, then inflict D3 mortal wounds. Jump Up and Down, you roll a dice on an infantry unit. On a 3-up, roll a dice for each model in the target unit. A 6-up for Gargants, it's a mortal damage. On a 5-up for Mega Gargants, it's mortal damage. Battle formations, you basically get an extra artifact, of which they have quite a few. Once per battle in your charge phase, the Emberbone Totem, you can run and charge. Once per battle in deployment phase, you basically gain the ability to summon manifestations once as a wizard. Once per battle in your combat phase, Sons of Behemoth units get to add 1 to hit rolls while they're wholly within 12 inches. Passive, add 1 to the attacks, rend, and damage for their Almighty Stomp or Almightier Stomp. Passive, unmodified save rolls of 6s, inflict mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight ability has been resolved. And Kingslayer Cowl, you add 1 to the attacks characteristic of their melee weapons while they're in combat with a friendly hero. King Broad has 40 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control 20. Obelisk of Tor Crania, 6 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 5 damage. Almighty Stomp, 2 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, 2 rend, D3 damage, anti-infantry. Death Grip, 1 attack, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, D6 damage, anti-hero. When he's taken 15 or more damage points, attacks from his Obelisk are 4 attacks, and he has a control of 10. He's got a Prayer, which on a 5, you get 1 effect. On a 10+, you get to pick 2 effects. Shatter the Mountains, add 2 to the move of Sons of Behemoth. Might of the Earth, heal D3 for Sons of Behemoth. And then basically the other one is for the rest of the turn, add 1 to the rend characteristic of their weapons attacks. Passive, this cannot be picked as the target of Rampage abilities. He can't be destroyed instantly. Instead, he takes 6 damage points. War rolls can't be made. And he can pass through non-monster units and parts of terrain features less than 4 inches. Gatebreaker has much the same rules, 35 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control 20. Hurled Boulder, 18-inch range, 1 attack, 3-up, 2-up, rend 3, 4 damage. Fort Crusher Flail, 6 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 4 damage, anti-faction terrain. Almighty Stomp, 2 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, D3 damage, anti-infantry. Death Grip, 1 attack, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, D6 damage, is anti-hero. Battle damage 15 or more, he gets 4 attacks with his flail and control of 10. Sons of Behemoth and Long Shakes is the same. Pulverizing Strike, instead of fighting on a 4-up, you can do 4d6 mortal damage. And then you can pick a terrain feature. If it's a faction terrain, you deal D3 plus 3 mortal damage on it. Then roll a D3 for each non-monster, friendly and enemy within 3 inches. On a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. Powerful rules. War Stomper, 35 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control 20. Titanic Boulder Club, 4 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 2 damage, anti-infantry. Almightier Stomp, 4 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, D3 damage, anti-infantry. And Death Grip, 1 attack, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, D6 damage, and is anti-hero. When he's taken 15 or more damage, the Titanic Boulder Club has 3 attacks, and he has a control of 10. He's got the Son of Behemoth and the Long Shakes ability as well. The Titanic Boulder Club, if all the attacks made by its Titanic Boulder Club target the same enemy unit, for every 5 models in the target unit, add 2 to the attacks characteristic. And then in any combat phase, you pick an enemy unit in combat with the unit to be the target, roll dice. If it's at least double the target's health characteristic, one model in the unit is slain. You can pick a visible enemy unit within 12. They take the mortal damage equal to the health characteristic of the thrown model. Man Crusher Gargant, 12 health, 8-inch move, 5-up save, control 10. Throwing Rocks, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 5-up, 2-up, rend 2, d3 damage. Massive Club, 4 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 1, 2 damage. Headbutt, 1 attack, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, 4 damage. And Mighty Kick, 1 attack, 4-up, 2-up, rend 2, d3 damage. Passive is while it's wholly within 12 of a friendly Mega Gargant, this unit can use charge abilities even if they ran. And then once per turn in combat phase, you pick an enemy unit in combat, roll a dice. If the roll is at least double the target's health characteristic, one model in the unit is slain as well. The Spearhead is 3 Mega Gargants. One of them gets the hero keyword, but does not get the reinforcement keyword. And then you get an in-combat phase, bellowing roll, pick a friendly unit, pick an enemy unit in combat. On a 2-up, subtract 1 from hit rolls that target this, made by the target unit this phase. And in your hero phase, grab those rocks and chuck them. Pick your general to use this ability, then pick another friendly unit wholly within 12 of them. Add 1 to the attacks of their throwing rocks. Their war scroll is basically the exact same, except with the stuff them in the me bag. And then passive Timber is the same ability as before. If it's slain, the players roll off. The winner picks a point on the battlefield up to 3 inches from the model. Inflict D3 mortal damage. Battle traits for the Osiark Bone Reapers. You've got 2 that you can do in each phase, but you can't do more than 1 in each phase. So, Unstoppable Advance, add 2 to the move characteristic of each thing within 12 inches of the hero. The other one is Charge and Retreat, as long as they're within 12 inches of the hero. Add 1 to charge rolls within 12 inches of the hero in the charge phase, or they get anti-charge within 12 inches of the hero. Bludgeon is add 1 to wound rolls within 12 inches of the hero, and then Impenetrable Ranks gives them a ward of 5-up while they're within 12 inches of the hero. Makes it so that you can kind of have stronger flanks and use your heroes as kind of areas to strengthen up your forces. A really easy battle formation, the Mortison Council. Add 1 to casting rolls for Osiark Bone Reapers Infantry Wizards. And then for spells, you've got Empower Nadrite Weapons, 5 to cast. Pick a friendly Osiark Bone Reapers Wizard to cast the spell. Pick a friendly Osiark Bone Reapers unit within 12 inches. The target's combat attacks score critical hits on unmodified hit rolls of 5-up instead of 6-up. Nadrite Weapons have crit 2 hits, so are pretty powerful, and it's an unlimited spell. Vokmordian has 5 health, 5-inch move, 4-up save, control 2. Gaze of Death, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 3-up, 2-up, rend 1, 2 damage. And Staff of Retribution, 3 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage, and crit is 2 hits. Once per battle in any hero phase, for the rest of the turn, non-fight core abilities cost a command point for the target to use, and you target an enemy unit within 12. Casting value of 7 spell, Mortal Contract. Pick a friendly Osiark Bone Reapers within 18 inches and an enemy unit within 18 inches until the start of your next turn. Each time the enemy unit attacks, uses an ability on the friendly unit, roll a dice, d3 on a 2-up, inflict the amount of mortal damage on the bound enemy unit equal to the roll as a reaction. If the unit is destroyed, then you end the ability, and then Ward, 6-up, and Wizard of 2. The Mortison Soul Mason, 6 health, 5-inch move, 4-up save, control 2. The Soul Mason's staff is 3 attacks, 4-up, rend 1 d3 damage, crit is 2 hits. The Mortek Throne's Ossified Claws, 2 attacks, 5-up, 4-up, rend 1 damage. And in your hero phase, you've got to spell the Soul Guide, casting value of 7, pick a visible friendly Osiark Bone Reapers wholly within 12, and they gain the Strike First keyword, and has a ward of 6-up, and is a wizard that can cast 2 spells. Pretty powerful support character. The Necropolis Stalkers have 4 health, 6-inch move, 4-up save, control 1. The Stalker Blades are 4 attacks, 3-up, rend 2, 1 damage, crit is 2 hits. They have, in any combat phase, the Quadrarch aspects. You pick one of the following effects. Domination is subtract 3 from the control score of enemy units while they're in combat. Blade Parry aspect is subtract 1 from the hit rolls for combat attacks that target this unit. Destroyer aspect is ward rolls cannot be made for damage points inflicted by this unit's combat attacks. And precision aspect, this unit's melee weapons have anti-hero +1 rend while this unit is in combat with an enemy hero. And then a ward of 6 up to top it all off. Some pretty powerful monstrous infantry. The Mortek Crawler has 12 health, 5-inch move, 4-up save, and control 5. The Dread Catapult range weapon is 24-inch range, 4 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 1, d3 plus 2 damage, and is anti-infantry and crits on 2 hits. The Attendant's Crawler tools, 6 attacks, 4-up, no rend, 1 damage. In any shooting phase, the Deathly Barrage, pick an enemy unit that was targeted by all of this unit's shooting attacks, and roll a dice. Add 1 to the roll if this unit is wholly within 12 inches of a friendly Mortison Ossifector, and add 1 to the roll if any other friendly Mortek Crawler units pick that enemy unit to be the target. On a 4-up, they get the strike last till the end of the turn, and has a ward of 6 up. In Spirit Head, you have the Tithe Wreather Echelon. The battle traits is you got your Mortek Guard can be set up anywhere on the battlefield, wholly within 3 of a battlefield edge and more than 6 from enemies. And then your OCR commands are abilities that can only be used by spending OCR command points at the start of the battle round. You receive 2 OCR command points. Each OCR command costs 1. The same unit cannot use more than 1 OCR command in the same phase. At the end of the battle round, all OCR command points are lost. Then the Cavalos Death Riders, 3 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control 1. The Nadrite Spear is 3 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 1, 1 damage. Charge is +1 damage. The Cavalos Hooves, 2 attacks, 5-up, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage. And then the Death Rider Wedge is an OCR command where models in this unit can pass across enemy infantry as if they had the fly keyword, and then on a 2-up, inflict D3 mortal damage.